Hello, welcome back to my channel. First of all, before we even get started, last time I wore this choker, nobody told me when it got all turned around and it was just like this for the rest of the video. I'm kind of sad that you didn't tell me. If this happens, will you just tell me? I would just really appreciate that. Okay, thanks. Now, onto what this video is about my Saturn return and being about to turn 30 or turning 30, around that age range. I'm hoping that maybe this video can help somebody that's going through something similar, or somebody can relate to this. Really in the thick of everything, it was really helpful for me to watch other people talk about their experience. Even if you're not an astrology person, this isn't about astrology technically, it's just about this time period of my life that everybody seems to go through when they're in their late 20s, trying to figure out where you want your life to go. Before I go into it, I wanted to tell you that my eye makeup is based on the first Google image that came up when I searched Saturn. I'll put an image of the image somewhere on the screen here so you can compare my eyes to the image. I just wanted to fully embrace the Saturn influence in my life, I guess. I'm just gonna call it Saturn return because it's an easy way to signify the past 3 years. So I'm so tired of editing out so's. It's so annoying. Why can't I just talk like a normal person? Let's talk about before the Saturn return began, because some of the things that I went through are relevant to how it's played out later. I have a list. I had to organize my thoughts or it would just be me rambling and it would be out of order. Came back from college. I had a complete mental breakdown and wanted to be taken to a mental asylum or something. They don't exist. I don't know. Whatever those places are, you can take people to be checked in as an insane person. It was really bad. I spent like a week looking for a therapist and I found a therapist and I barged into her office while she had a client. I was like, I need help. It was very funny later. I went through all of that therapy, healed a lot of stuff that was looping in my head. PTSD is what I call it. I didn't have like a terrible life, but I did have PTSD because everybody deals with their life experiences based on their perspective, and some people may get trauma from things that other people are like, that's nothing because I went through this. But I didn't go through that, so the things I went through are just as harsh for me. I digress. That could be a whole other video about the therapy. I love talking about that stuff. It's fun. So if you want to see that, let me know. So blah blah blah. Most of the therapy was about relationships that I had trauma from, and I felt like I had a really negative relationship with my dad because my parents got divorced, and you tend to blame one of the parents when that happens, I think. Most people would probably do. I went to therapy for all that stuff and I was able to remove the loops from my head at least, so that was good. After all the therapy and the messed up way of being, why am I just like flailing around the whole time? Oh well, I'm gonna flail. So, that was a long time before I said this so. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I say so many times, and I just want you to know. I'm gonna edit them all out so they don't annoy you, unless they're so's like that kind of so, where they are part of a sentence. But if I'm just like so, and then I go to the next point, so, I'm gonna have a counter in the corner, and every time I say so, that I have to edit it out, I'm gonna put a ding. So that'll be a fun little thing for y'all to pay attention to. Anyway, it better not turn into anyway, because I need to not use transitional words. Transitional words. So I said so again. After the therapy, I went through a lot of spiritual seeking. I'm a very spiritual person, kind of out there. I did a whole bunch of different kinds of spiritual stuff to figure out what worked for me. I read all of the spiritual books by all of the gurus, and I learned a lot. Found my spirituality stuff, which was great. When 2016 hit, I was working at probably the only job that I really truly enjoyed that actually helped me in my life. That was Lululemon. I worked in the distribution center, and I know a lot of people have stuff to say about Lululemon and working there, but it was really good for me in my life. It taught me a lot of leadership skills. It was a really safe place for me to start kind of stepping into who I actually was. They were just like, be yourself. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. That, combined with a whole bunch of other variables, made me feel like I was finally myself. I had been wanting to get in a car with all of my stuff and just travel around. I finally had the faith and the ability to do it. I just felt unstoppable. I sold all my stuff, quit my great job that I loved, and I left somehow. It was the best thing that I've ever done. I'm so thankful that I did that, and I would love to make a video or multiple videos about my travel journey, and I want to share like what I learned and how it was. I feel like it's interesting. Also, let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below. So I traveled. The end goal of the traveling was to find where I wanted to live for the next however long. I got to Austin and I just loved it, so I stayed. After I moved to Austin, my Saturn return started. I settled in Austin and I was just like, hell yeah. So I posted YouTube videos consistently every week. Doing the funny videos was so much fun, and I definitely want to start doing some funny videos again. And I feel like these videos are kind of funny too, in their own little way. Thanks for sticking around and hanging out with me. I would love to talk to you. So if you just leave a comment, I will reply and say hi and get to know you. I probably already know you though, because probably everybody that subscribed to my channel is just people that I've forced to subscribe to it in real life. Like, I would just take people's phones and find my YouTube channel and subscribe them to it and put their notifications on. I've done that a lot. If one of you is that, thank you for staying subscribed. All right, now we get into the nitty-gritty of the video. The meat and potatoes. The vegan meat and potatoes. The Satan and potatoes. Satan is a fake meat. Okay. Saturn return starts, and I looked, and approximately 6 months after the Saturn return began, my YouTube videos stopped, or they stopped being consistent. I'm sorry if you've been with me that long and you noticed that I stopped uploading. I love doing YouTube videos. The accomplishment of being consistent and being able to give something to the world that I can be proud of. It's a good use of my energy. It was really sad to me that I stopped making YouTube videos. I still very much wanted to. I just couldn't. We'll get into why in a second. So, ding! I hate when the curls like become one with themselves. Like, can you just be a separate curl? I want them to be different than each other. Be unique! So I stopped making YouTube videos. Once I moved to Austin, I became worried about money. Apartments are like twice the price in Austin than they are where I lived in Ohio. So I'm like, dang, there's a lot of expenses to not living in your car. I had to get an office job. I just felt like I had to. I felt weak, like I couldn't figure it out, and I had to go into like the structure of society, which basically to me an office job is just like being a slave, in my opinion. It's not something that I have any interest in doing. It's just not for me. It's not for me. It was bad too, because when I was traveling, I had all of this faith in the universe that it would provide for me, because I didn't have a job. I didn't really have much money saved when I left. I was just kind of making money where I could, and it was fun, and I always had enough money. But then I moved to a stable environment and I lost all of my faith that I could make money. So I had to get an office job to have the illusion of security. Please hold while I check myself out. Well, I guess it's just my hooded eyes. I have no idea what I was talking about before I did that. That's why we have a list! I got to a point where I was just feeling a deep, unrelenting loneliness. I just felt completely alone in the world. I had nobody. I do know that this is not true. This is not how it actually was, but this is how I felt. And I felt that way the entire time. And I still am recovering from that. So there's just this deep loneliness that I just cannot shake. I also felt like people were letting me down. I was insignificant. Like, nobody cared about my anything. Nobody would listen to me. I felt like people were ignoring me and nobody wanted to hang out with me. And that I was just never gonna be able to have friends because nobody liked me. And nobody wanted to give me the time of day. And that's just how I felt, and that's not necessarily true, but that's how I was perceiving my life to be. I was also completely emotionally exhausted. I just could not bring myself to pretend like I was okay. It was so hard to just go to work and not have an emotional breakdown every single day. I also felt like everything in my life just came to a complete stop. I'm the kind of person that is constantly trying to improve myself and grow as a person and learn about everything. Light speed, growth, moving forward real fast, just like zoom, zoom, I'm over here and zoom over there, and I know that thing and I know that thing, and I'm growing over there and I'm growing over there, and everything's just moving along, right? And it just felt like everything stopped and I wasn't growing at all, and I didn't grow at all for like 3 years. And that's like the worst possible feeling in the world to me. I feel like life is about becoming more. The fact that I was not becoming more, I felt like I was taking so many steps backwards. Why is this all coming back up? What's going on? Who literally am I? I had no idea. I was just so confused. Who am I gonna be when I'm around people? There was a period of time where I just couldn't be around anybody because I just felt like I could not be a person around other people. I can just morph myself into whatever you want me to be. Like if I'm with a group of people, I'll just morph into whatever that group of people needs me to be. I want everybody around me to be comfortable and happy all the time. And I still want that, but I also now want to be myself too. I don't want to not do something or not be somebody just because it might make the people around me uncomfortable. I really struggle with that because I was like, I want to be myself, but I don't know how to be myself because I don't know who the hell I am because I've just always been these other people that people want me to be. So what do I do? Who do I be? It felt like torture to be around other people in any capacity, at work, at the grocery store, anywhere, anytime, because it just felt so, I don't know what the word is, weird, awkward. Those words aren't strong enough. I just felt like I wasn't a person and I can't interact with other people because I can't be a person. I don't know how to explain it. Somebody please tell me you understand what I'm talking about. What else? For the last 3 years, I've just been in a constant state of confusion about my life. Okay, so I've known that I want to be a singer since my first memories, and I would question that. I would quickly realize that there's no way that I'm not gonna be a singer. If I can't be a singer, then why am I alive? So that was really dramatic and depressing because I felt like I couldn't be a singer. Then might as well just die now because I'm stuck in the slavery system, and this is really dark. I was confused about what my life direction was and why and how I had it up so bad. I had no idea how to completely turn my whole life around, basically my career, because if you're working a job 40 hours a week, that is your life. Because what do you have? No time to do anything. Maybe that life is for some people. Maybe some people actually like what they do for 40 hours a week. Office jobs are not for me. So I felt like I was living the wrong life and I didn't see a way to move towards the right life for myself. I was going to vocal lessons and I did have a band that I was playing with that gave me some hope, but then the band ended dramatically and I had to stop the vocal lessons because money became an issue because of the jaw thing and all the debt that I had to go into because I paid everything up, but then I didn't pay everything up because I had to get more debt. So here we are. Can somebody just forgive our student loan debt, please? That'd be great. Also, I've always had confidence issues. I don't think I've ever looked in the mirror so much and just hated what I saw more than I have in the last 3 years. It makes me sad. I have a video called Breaking Beauty. It's like really old. I rewatched it and it was private, but I made it public because it was so good. It was about how to not be so judgmental of yourself. So I will link that in the description below. I feel like I've said that in a lot of videos and I don't remember ever linking anything in the description below. But I will. I will link it and I will put a card up for it as well. Oh, I'm so excited to see what the so count is right now. Oh yeah, the best part, not really, the worst part. I had extreme depression. I have never had depression like this before. I've never actually had crisis where I'm like actually in crisis and I don't know if I'm gonna survive. If you're going through something like that, I will link the phone numbers down below. Please tell somebody, talk to somebody. But it was so hard for me to survive such dark thoughts, such bad, just bad. It was bad. Okay? Really, I think the main thing was that I didn't feel free at my job, around other people, to be myself. I didn't feel free with myself. Didn't feel safe in my own presence to be myself. And I have done a lot of work, although it's basically been forced upon me, and I would have done it anyway if it wasn't forced upon me. So thanks a lot, Saturn! And you know what else? I forgot. But when I was a kid, Saturn was my favorite planet because it had the pretty rings around it. I watched something about Saturn the other day and I keep looking over there because I have a blanket over there. It's not usually there and it's dark and it's scaring me because it's also the lamp over there and it looks like a person and it's freaking me out, okay? So I'm sorry I keep looking over there. It was scaring me. Oh my god. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I didn't have freedom. Oh, and I was doing all the work. Okay, so I was doing all the work on myself that I was being forced to do by Saturn. I did not have a choice, which made me feel even more like I wasn't free. Unconsensual growth. It was slow and it was like 1 step forward, 20 steps back, and I just don't even know how I made it through any of it. And I really hope it's over. Then here we are now, and I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel so much more like myself. Coming out of the fog of depression that I've been in for 3 freaking long years. Man, this just sounds like I'm such a crybaby. Nothing actually dramatic happened to me. And that was also the worst part too, is during everything, I was just like, there's no reason that I should be feeling like this. My life is perfect from the outside. I make great money. I have a lot of people around me that seemingly care about me. And I have a great family that cares about me. I live in the best city ever. I have my own apartment to myself. I don't have to have a roommate. I have the best life. Right? It was even worse because I was beating myself up for being so depressed when everything externally seemed to be okay. I just couldn't realize that the reason I was so depressed is because, yeah, this life is great and perfect, but not for me. Maybe for somebody else, it's a great life. But I am the kind of person that needs to make my own schedule and be an artist and do whatever the heck I want without anybody telling me what I have to wear or what I have to do or when I have to be there and how I have to act or what I can say and what I can't say. I was just being guided forcefully away from a life that wasn't for me. I am glad for that. Man, this is so dumb. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh my god, I'm so thankful for my Saturn return. I learned so much. Oh my god, I just am so thankful. It was so hard, but it was like so worth it. I don't want to be one of those people because that is the last thing I wanted to hear. Every video I watched that was like that, I was just like, no. Because it does not feel like that's how it's going to be. When you're in it. It feels like the rest of your life is going to be like this and you're never going to make it out. And this is just how life is now. And good luck dealing with it because you're stuck and everything sucks. You're going to struggle just to get out of bed. But you know what? It really is going to be okay. This right here, right now is like the first time I'm actually realizing and like feeling thankful with the stupid ass Saturn return. This before 30 series of events. Oh, I'm so mad. If you're going through it right now, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I definitely get it. And yes, it will not get better until it does. And it'll surprise you and delight you. And hopefully, I really do feel like, I mean, I also felt like this like a month ago. Like I was so happy and I couldn't lose it. And then I went back into the bad, but it was a shorter bad period. Maybe I just have bipolar. What is that? Is there like a snake or scorpion? Is there Scorpio in my house right now? Oh my god, I better get the knife because Scorpios are crazy. I meant scorpion. I love Scorpios. And blah 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 blah. Anyway, here we are on Saturn return video and I am talking about not Saturn return things. Oh my god, so the other thing is, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to share this, but bless you, Mr. Fridge. Did you hear that? Oh, my face itches. For some reason, I was in a toy store called Toy Joy. I was with somebody else, and we were looking for stuff. I don't even know who I was with or what the heck was going on. But I just know that there were these adorable little creatures that were like little circles, and they had beans in them. Beads. I don't know what's in them. There was a bunny, and he was different from all the other ones because he had big long ears. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm in love with this little bunny. I didn't buy it. And then I came back the next day because I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I bought it, and let me show you. So this is Bunny. This is Bunny Valle. Listen, this is like silly, but if you know me in real life and we're like close friends, you know about Bunny Valle, and you know that he has a friend called Bunny Valle who's angry and has a scar from prison. But these are my comfort objects. I needed comfort objects to get through this time in my life. They've helped me a lot. If you think I'm dumb and you want to unsubscribe, that's fine. But sometimes you just need some comfort objects because life is hard. Finally, we're gonna get to the end, I guess, of the Saturn return. For me, things that I've had a hard time with in my life have been transmuted. What they say is that things that you did a lot of work on before your Saturn return happened are things that Saturn is going to reward you with, and things that you neglected or did not grow and work on before your Saturn return are things that Saturn is going to force upon you. I'm kind of mad that Saturn forced personal growth on me when I did so much of it back then. I guess I was just meant to be like a really awesome person. Since I have to grow so much, apparently. Or maybe I was just a really crappy person to begin with. These things that I'm about to tell you are things that I have seen the results for, and it's really cool. First thing is bad relationships. I was in countless bad relationship situations, abusive, emotionally unavailable. Ugh. I wrote a whole album about one of them. Can't wait to show that to you. And I hope he knows who he is. Bad relationships were transmuted into the best relationship that I've ever had, the most loving, actually what love is supposed to be relationship. So also, I have been working on being a singer for my entire life. First part of my life, I didn't even admit to myself that I wanted to be a singer. After somehow I crushed my own dreams, I eventually finally figured out that, yeah, I do want to be a singer, and yes, I can be a singer. When I was in my early 20s, I did a lot of work to make myself believe that I could do it. That definitely feels like it was transmuted, and there was some snafus with the band and everything, but for the most part, like, the vocal lessons literally changed my life. So thank you to Divi, wherever you are in the universe, and Audrey for training me. I feel like I have all of this potential and opportunities to fulfill my potential in singing. So I'm really excited about the future and what's going to happen with that. Apparently, Capricorn is about like bones and posture and skin. I've figured out my skincare routine. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I mean, I never really got pimples before, but I learned how important sunscreen is. Bone, structure, and posture. I've been talking about the jaw thing forever. And now that I've found out during my Saturn return, it was because form follows function, and function is wrong, so that's why I'm so ugly. I know I'm not ugly, so I'm really glad that I found out about all that, and I'm getting that fixed, because honestly, I filmed a video maybe 5 or 6 months ago, and I was editing it and I was gonna post it, and I was like, I can't post this. I look so different. I just don't feel like it's me anymore. I'm like, dang, I looked like that. I've made progress, so that's good. The other thing is I've had a lot of bad jobs in my life. I want jobs that weren't for me. I finally found a career that is perfect for me. Now, it's not singing. I can slowly transition into doing this job, and that's what's like keeping me going, because I can feel that this is something that can be really successful for me, at least for the next couple years while I build my singing career. My money is based on how much work I do rather than how many hours. It's very analytical, and I have to be detailed and organized, and I'm just like super good at all of those things. It's just perfect. It's perfect. I'm very happy and excited about it. Bad jobs. Perfect job. Yay. I mentioned earlier about when I had therapy, about how I was angry at my dad. We didn't really have a relationship for a while. We recently reconnected, and I'm really thankful for that, because having a relationship with my dad is a really important part of my life that I was missing and that I was sad about. I'm just really thankful. Also, I was into buying and trading cars on Craigslist for a while. I went through a lot of vehicles. They were all pretty unreliable. I never really had a very reliable car, and when I did, I just sold it to go get an unreliable one. That was fun. So after having all those unreliable cars, I finally was blessed with my beautiful Subaru, and it has everything that I ever wanted in a car, even things that I forgot that I had wanted. This was like literally just made for me and plucked out of wherever it was and placed in my hands. That's how it felt. It was perfect. My favorite thing that happened. On top of the unreliable cars, I also had a lot of unreliable friends. And no offense to anybody that used to be my friend. This is not about anybody in specific. This is more about me. They say you teach people how to treat you. I treated myself badly, so everybody else treated me badly too. I just never felt comfortable enough in a friendship to actually be who I really am. And I also didn't even really know who I really was, because I wasn't comfortable enough around myself. Isn't that crazy? I didn't have a personality for like most of my life. Well, now I do, and I like it. I now also have friends that I can be myself around, that love me and support me and care about me and my life. I am getting better at being a good friend in return. Friendships were a big part of this, even though it was kind of an indirect thing, because I had to focus on myself before I could be open to having friends. So I'm really excited now that I can have friendships, beautiful friendships. So thank you for being my friend if you're watching. And you're my friend. Thanks for being my friend. The last thing that has been transmuted is my insecurity. I am a lot less insecure than I was, especially with my body. Can I just sit like this for the rest of the video? What was this about? Oh! Yeah, okay. The last thing that I have transmuted is insecurity as far as how others perceive me. I'm much more reliant on my own opinion than on the opinions of others. I just have a lot more ability to express myself, which comes from knowing who I actually am a little bit better, since I've just never actually been a person. So I'm really glad to be a person now, and thank you for welcoming me into the world. Yes. Thank you. I will take my award now and I will go. That's about all. I just want to give some encouragement to anybody that is about to start their Saturn return. Just hold on tight. It's important to find something that you can hold on to, something that's stable, something that can't be taken from you. I don't know if this is helpful. My intention was to help somebody by telling all of this stuff to the world. Hopefully it was also entertaining, and I just really wanted to talk about it because it's been a huge part of my life, and I'm just so freaking glad that it's almost over. I really just want to be myself. Thanks for letting me share some of those things with you and accepting me for having comfort objects. Let me know what happened in your Saturn return and how you're feeling, what's going on with you, or if you're in your Saturn return. How's it going? I just want everybody to be happy and comfortable, okay? I hope everybody stays safe and healthy out there. I make a new video every week. Every other is a cover, and I'm still gonna say that, even though things are about to change because I'm gonna be uploading a cover every day. Please subscribe if you're not, and give me a like. Okay, bye.